typical post-apocalyptic landscape.
Yeah. You know what I mean? The way I think, you know, that's the way I think.
And so Deltron is this character that's sort of narrating as he travels in this post-apocalyptic landscape, right?
Sort of, he's like a rebel type of dude, you know what I'm saying? He's not necessarily good, but he's not necessarily bad neither. He'd rather help people out than try to take people's stuff like a lot of other people doing in this world. So he tries to help people find their way through it. You know?
It's like, it's not like the guy who's there, like, you know, blow up the Death Star. It's kind of seeing things and checking out and going through life.
Now, when you have, you know, working with these themes that are very bleak, nihilistic, and minimalist, how important is it to, you know, A, be able to strike an emotional chord, and B, sort of recognize humanity or the worth of humanity in this future that is kind of effed up?
Well, you have, you know, when you ain't got something, you know, or, you know, you have to face challenges, that's where you see where your merit is at. You know, that's what's going to separate the people that got some art about it or the people that's just going to give up or whatever, can't make it, you know what I mean? So that's what the situation is, basically. It's set up to where you got to be creative about some things, you know what I mean? So that's how you get to see who's who, or, you know, who's real or who's fake, or, you know, who got it, who don't, who going, you know, who gonna stand the test of time, however you want to put it, you know what I'm saying? People, character, you know what I mean? That's where that comes out. So that, you know, that's why I purposely set it up like that, because I wanted to take Deltron away from a lot of the, you know, stereotypical futuristic weaponry and robots and all that. I kind of wanted to move away from that more and move more towards just the emotional side of things, you know what I'm saying? I felt like a lot of people couldn't get into the first one because they just felt like it's just too way out. So I wanted to focus more on, you know, people's emotions and how they would deal with things in this future time. You know what I mean? And I wanted to give people something more to grasp onto, you know, because I started to see like a lot of fans, they come to me, they're really thinking this is something, you know what I'm saying? So I figured, okay, let me give them something to chew on, because I didn't even mean it like that. The first one, I was just freestyling a lot, you know what I mean? So this one, since I seen like a lot of people was getting more into it, thinking it was more, I was like, okay, let me really give you more.
Well, I mean, the one caveat to that, though, Del freestyling is Del taking what he has going on around him, like I said, sensory. So, like, I think he's giving it a little bit less credit than it actually is in terms of, like, some of the statements that are on there. They're definitely far more realized than he's kind of giving it, like, when you hear them in the context of what they are. Just because I think, you know, all of us were emotionally connected to everything that goes on around us. And so what we're talking about is what we're feeling, even if he is kind of coming more off the top than he is coming like a research kind of vibe.
So there are a lot of concepts that you will have, you know, sort of pre-thought about, and, you know, you're just trying to lay them down with a particular type of flow on record, right?
Yeah, this time. Last time, it was like, whatever come to my mind, you know, stream of consciousness, you know what I mean? Like Godism or something like that, you know what I mean?
But him, stream of consciousness is different than other people's.
Yeah, I mean, that's my character, you know what I mean? It's not nonsense or whatever.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so why don't we see more hip-hop concept albums? I mean, it's such a great thing to format to be able to make an infinite concept.
It takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work, to be honest. When you think of probably the most prominent, historically speaking, hip-hop concepts, I think of like NWA and I think of like Public Enemy. And the work that goes behind that and the statement that goes behind it, I just don't think it's that easy for people to really come around. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a very complicated place to be. I don't even know that many people have attempted it badly. I just, you know, it's just a place where I feel like, not like we're doing that or whatever, but at the same time we're thinking out the overall work as opposed to like, oh yeah, let's make our record hot. We'll get like Swiss Beats to do one track. We'll get like, you know, Dr. Dre to do one track. You know, it's like we're doing it as a unit, making something that is. I'm not necessarily cohesive, but they belong together.
It's art, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know if a lot of rappers or, you know, hip hop artists per se, I don't know if they're artists like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they sit there conceptualize stuff like automatically. Like I walk around all day coming up with concepts or trying to think of ways I could do this type of music. Or, man, if I fuse this together, so you know what I'm saying? Like that's the way my mind works. I don't know if every hip hop artist is like that. You know, a lot of them, like Dan said, is just like, let me just put out the hottest thing and hope I get a lot of money from it. Like, they don't go no deeper than that, you know what I mean? Not saying we better or nothing like that, I don't care, but, you know, that's just how it is, you know?
So it's, you know, you're not just putting out a product, but you're really attempting to make art.
Well, I think ultimately everything, I think all of us, the three of us, if I can speak, I think pretty freely for us, is like, we all try to do our best. And like, I don't think any one of us has made commercial concessions any time in the course of our career as far as like commercial concessions we didn't want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like we've all made commercially viable records, but that's not really like going like, oh yeah, you know, that John Mayer sound is hot right now. Let's go do that. You know what I mean? I was actually thinking our next record was going to be called Deltron and Sons, because I heard that Mumford shit.
That'd be awesome.
Considerations about what people can tolerate at a certain time, you know what I'm saying? So I pay attention. I'm hip, you know what I'm saying? I see what people can tolerate. You know what I mean? As a composer, as a writer, whatever, I feel like I gotta be, you know, show some empathy for people, you know what I'm saying? So I don't try to just push too hard, you know what I mean? Because I don't wanna stop it, you know what I'm saying? You know, so in that manner, I guess, you know, I kinda look and see that people.
Well, that's filtering through, though, you know?
Yeah.
And you know,
I think that has something to do with it being commercial in a way, but I'm not looking at it like I'm trying to sell this. I do know, though, inherently, if you can tolerate it, you'll probably buy it, so.
but you know,
But that's not the end-all be-all, you know what I'm saying? That's just a nice byproduct of caring about how people feel about it, you know what I mean?
let's just say Justin Bieber is not a guest on this record.
Leave him alone, man. Everybody picking on him, man. He's 19, I think he's doing a pretty good job.
Other special guests on the record?
Oh yeah. Well, a couple seem like they're out the bag a little bit, so I will throw them out there. A couple out there. We have.
Don't tell nobody.
Okay, one of them. Okay, if you take all the artists that are out there in the world and you eliminate Justin Bieber, as you heard, then you might be able to figure it out.
Okay, so that, I guess that's just something to look forward to. Let's talk about what we're here to do today. Now, this show right here is going to be a huge production. I mean, I hear you guys have orchestra, you have strings,
Horns, choir, band, yeah. You know what? We finally, I finally got to realize my dream of making the record live sound like I want everyone to hear. You know what I mean? We thank for people for supporting us to the point where we got to this point where we can make it. And I don't want to say it like in an asshole kind of way, but like we're taking the hip hop thing, we're doing it on a level like where like we actually are incorporating all a good majority of the instruments we used to make this record, so it's actually like a production, you know?
I would say it's beyond hip hop, really.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, like you said, I'm not saying that trying to be